Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of CableCast. My name is Caleb Ryor, and today I'm joined by the two urban legends of the mythical VGC land of Ohio, and good friends of mine, David Mancuso and Ashton Cox. How are you guys doing?
Good. Hello.
Oh, so good. I'm so excited for this game to come out.
Oh yeah, game's coming out, just over a week now? We're recording this on the 7th.
Yeah,
so.
I think it does come out in a week.
Ooh, it's going to be busy time. So this week, we're talking about brand new items and features recently shown on Pokemon's YouTube, talking about special supplements and mints and whatnot, and then we're going to get into some spoiler territory, because, the leak machine has been wide past couple of weeks, or days, I guess now. It feels like it's been weeks, the amount of information we've gotten. But let's start. We'll warn you listeners if we get into the spoiler territory before we do. So let's talk with these brand new items first. What do you guys think about these things, guys?
Ashton, you want to go first or me?
Yeah, sure. So I have had, this is like our 10th year playing Pokemon, and
oh, geez, it has been for all of us.
it really has. Yeah.
Okay.
There comes a point where you've bred enough Pokemon, and all you run back and forth. You put that quarter under your, into your joystick, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, no, I almost broke my 3DS in X and Y.
Absolutely.
Because of that.
And it's also comes across a point where you're like, oh, I already have like an Egg Slash, but I need an egg move.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make a new one. So that was like always really frustrating. So now seeing all this stuff where like you can transfer egg moves onto a like already bred Pokemon, and you can like edit their stats with all these new items and natures even and stuff. I'm like, it's going to be such a big time save. I think it's going to be a lot easier for a lot of new players to get into the game, and I think that's great.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I can imagine making a team just from start to finish. I could see it being like maybe an hour or two process in game, like outside of the building and theorying processes. Just obtaining Pokemon's that much easier, especially since you can just go out in the wild and get Pokemon and just use them from there.
I remember like in high school, like during Generation 6, just breeding not Crookies. They were the pre-evos of Greninja.
Froakie.
I can entirely forget it. Yeah, Froakie.
Yeah.
Same thing. I remember just like breeding Froakies in school for hours and hours, and it's like a flawless protein one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's not going to be too much of an issue. Just the main issue is just getting potentially like hidden abilities or the ability that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, even as a student, I was literally doing it in school and at home, and I was struggling to concentrate on everything when I wanted to make a competitive team, like a local or a regional. So I feel like it's and like as a casual, it's gonna be much easier, and you can also use your favorites, so like the mon that helped you, like beat the Elite Forest lines, maybe something that's like special to you, like has some form of sentimental value you can actually bring to a tournament, and you'll be actually really, really strong.
Yeah, very exciting. The other part is they did confirm that like the supplements you can just use more than 10 for once. So EV training, the items are always expensive in the game. So I'm sure there might be an easier way to get them, or like grinding money is not going to be that difficult, but just being able to focus strictly EV training based off of items is huge. So I remember, this is dating myself too. I think middle school in 5th generation, I had broken my arm.
Old man.
So I was at physical therapy, just like doing the elliptical or something. EV training my like Terrakion on like Route 1, just beating up Lillipups, and that took like an hour to max out one stat, and now I can do that in literal like seconds. So
big bull man beats up small puppy for points.
And it works, and I remember we always had these like EV trading guides back on like Nugget Bridge, and like places and routes you would go for the most optimal places to beat up Pokemon for EV training, and like having to do that.
What I think about it, it's kind of less morbid now too, because you're not sending these giant beasts to beat up small dogs. The more that I think about it, so it's friendlier.
Yeah, it's just, I think all around there is like no negative to this change. I think even the complaints that we've seen on Twitter about this in whatever shape or form, they're like, it makes it less competitive, and it's like, well, I think it makes it more competitive, because it's allowing more people into the competitive scene, which as a whole makes everything more competitive in my opinion.
It's interesting to me because those kinds of people are also not to kind of like call out shiny hunters, but it's that kind of like grinds within the game that they enjoy because the payoff is there for them, because they enjoy like crafting these Pokemon. So I kind of understand that side, but for our purposes, like, we're just trying to play the like actual competitive game, not the we're trying to play the game within the game, not this like these hoops and stuff.
It just what is it, like the supplements or with the calcium stuff along those lines, right? My assumption to get those is probably just gonna be, if there's some sort of system for it, probably BP, or like just buying it for cheap, because I know in previous generations I think you could buy it at the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. And then I think you can get that stuff within like a battle tower with BP or whatever. Oh, this other thing that's interesting, there's other candy other than rare candy kind of moving on from the system, but different. I don't even know how the candy in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee worked. I don't want to know.
I think you're the only person that played it that is on this podcast.
Yeah, nope, I have not.
Okay, yeah, I played it to get Meltan for Pokemon Go, but
that's fair.
Yeah, so there's experience candy you can get from max raid battles now. So that's a cool way to incentivize doing those max raid battles with other players. But they like just give you straight up like experience points. So the way leveling works in like every JRPG or really any RPG is that leveling goes up exponentially. So rare candies go up each level. So you get more value out of rare candies the higher level you are, but these experience candies are going to be really good for, if we're talking in-game stuff, bringing up Pokemon that you might have caught earlier, but you really want to use for the gyms that you're at now, up to speed with the rest of your team. But also, I'm sure that's going to be huge for level up moves for us, as well as we auto level to 50 now, but imagine if that wasn't the case, if we had Pokemon that I do miss my level 1 Aeron strats, like the best of us.
Oh yeah.
Even though they weren't the best, but also like level 49 Amoonguss. But it helps bring up the levels and stuff. So I guess those Pokemon that are higher levels that you need to evolve can be annoying too. So
but the experience candies come in extra large, medium, small, and extra small. And we don't have a confirmed number on anything but the extra large one, which is 30,000 experience. So my assumption would be that the extra smalls are probably a couple.
Yeah.
But the extra large, that's a really good amount. And considering that the screenshot that is on the Pokemon website it says 4, and most of these Pokemon that are on there are like level 45 to 50. My assumption is you'll be able to get those not pretty early on, but maybe like
later on. Yeah, like I'm sure you're going to be incentivized throughout the plot of the game to do more max raid battles. Yeah. So early on, you probably get the smaller ones, and then like the higher level max raid battles give you better loot and what you will.
Very good reward for it, though. Very good reward.
Yeah, along with the Pokemon. So.
Yeah.
What do we? On a side note, what do we actually know about those max raid battles? Because I know they made some announcement recently about.
Oh, actually, that is a good point. I wasn't gonna bring that up. But yeah, so it says the title of this article on the Sword and Shield main website is "We now know the best times to meet Gigantamax Butterfree and other rare Pokemon." So it seems like there's going to be kind of like event times, similar to how Pokemon Go works with the raids, on how easy it is to find some of these Pokemon in these raids. Because I know they said it was like rare encounters and stuff, but they're going to be regular Dynamax raids, but also Gigantamax raids. So there's a window between release and early January where it's more likely to encounter Gigantamax Butterfree in max raid battles. And during the same time, you can find Dreadnought and Sword, and I think Corviknight and Shield. So it's like a percent chance. I'm sure there's going to be like charts of like encounter rates and everything.
Yeah.
But an interesting take on that is I could see them like kind of doing stagger releases for Gigantamax Pokemon, similar to how. Oh, I'm glad you two have been around as long as I have with VGC for this, but the Dream World Pokemon that we did in 2013, how those abilities were kind of staggered releases there.
Specifically the genies, right?
No. What it was is the genies was Black and White 2, but throughout Black and White 2, within the Dream World, we had different Pokemon that you could obtain on different months, and that's where, because hidden abilities used to be called Dream World abilities. So that's how we kind of unlocked those Pokemon, so I can see them doing that, but for Pokemon that are able to Gigantamax, because you need specific Pokemon. We don't know really, like, if it needs to be a certain ability of Pokemon, but we can get into this territory later after the spoiler free zone is done.
As of right now, though, do we know like how to get these, like the Butterfree, the Corviknight, etc.?
Yeah, it's through the max raids.
Okay, so what if we're not there for the specific time for the max?
That's what I was kind of going to bring up.
That's what I'd be worried about. So it says it's more likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
for like,
I'm sure they're January. Always there. Yeah.
It's just chance.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Which is annoying for the competitive side, but from what we've seen from the Gigantamax Pokemon, as long as they don't get actual stat buffs, which the more we're seeing, I doubt. I thought there were going to be way less G-Max Pokemon than there are, so I doubt they get other stat buffs other than HP. Their exclusive moves aren't that crazy. A lot of them aren't even going to be like preferred in competitive, at least for on the VGC side, than what their base form is. I talked about this last episode with how Charizard, like the kind of the Fire Pledge kind of effect it has, is way worse than just setting up Sun, at least in VGC. So who knows?
So it could potentially be not a setback for some players, but like specifically for the first Sword and Shield Regional Dallas, which is January 7th.
Yeah, MLK weekend.
Yeah. But one specific thing I'm thinking right now is like someone could be wanting to use, like, for instance, potentially Butterfree. Would they not be able to get that, like G-Max?
It says more likely, so I guess we're gonna have to find out if you can trade these Pokemon or not, because like a huge part of having Pokemon and trading, like in previous years, the online community is great about helping out other players and getting the Pokemon that they need for these events.
Thankfully, with all these new additions, it's easier to level up. EV trade, potentially change nature.
So getting stuff all by yourself is good, but it just also the nature of having to play with others to battle these max raid battles. It's going to be an interesting kind of pull of community for this kind of stuff.
Oh, that is the aspect of this group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you do them by yourself, or is it just preferred to do
No, I think you have to do them with other people.
Okay.
At least a couple of them.
At least early on, like the forced ones, I'm pretty sure they might have like AI trainers, but I'm pretty sure you have to do them with others. You can be paired with random players, I think I read somewhere. Or you can do with like local people. So, but yeah, it's going to be annoying, but like it's like any other rare Pokemon in the game. They have only a % chance to show up anyways.
Especially if you're on the go or something.
Yeah, so I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So as long as we can trade. You guys have any more thoughts on these announcements? We talked about all the items and features.
I think that's pretty good. We covered
I am really excited though for mints. Did we cover mints?
We talked about it briefly, but just the fact that natures don't matter really anymore. You can just change it.
I honestly have never caught a shiny Pokemon in game, like in the wild in my playthroughs. I'll play through the game, nothing, right? And so seeing how I haven't yet, it feels like at some point in the near future it's going to be my time. You know, that's just how it works,
you want to be able to use that shiny.
I want to be able to use it, yes. So now knowing that whenever I may get my first in-game shiny, I will have the ability to use it competitively, because
that's adorable.
Like, when I catch it, when I get other shinies, it doesn't mean as much. But if I were to catch it in game, play through it, use it a lot, I'd be like, oh, I love this Pokemon, and then like, it would have more of a connection. But now at this point, I feel like I haven't yet. It's gonna be my time, and now with these
better
additions,
be an Ashton Pokemon. Is all I'm saying.
I really hope it is.
Like
too.
if it's
I'm
if
gonna
it's
get
like
the
a
Imp.
super bog standard Pokemon, I'm gonna be super bummed.
It's just gonna be Esper. He's not gonna evolve. It's just gonna be Esper.
Yeah. Yep.
Shiny, staring soul.
Yeah, but the ability to use those makes it just makes me feel a lot better about playing casually through the game at first and being able to get these cool Pokemon that I really like, and then being able to like turn them around and use them competitively.
Yeah,
It creates a more sentimental feeling.
Especially if the starters are any good for VGC. Actually, now that we're talking about new Pokemon, I'm gonna just a warning for listeners at home.
We want to talk to the ones that are announced first.
What do you mean?
The ones that we think might be good that are already announced.
No, because that's what my last 2 episodes have been about.
Okay.
The viewers know, and frankly, we haven't even.
They know that Morpeko is the best mon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly,
1 foot tall.
we don't know
7.
like any Pokemon. So yeah. So guys, if you don't want to be spoiled about the leaks and stuff, we're us 3. We're way too excited. We spoiled everything for ourselves. So,
Yep.
Leave now. You've been warned.
We'll give you 3 seconds.
All right. 3, 2,
On
1.
clap. On clap. It's done. 3, 2, 1, clap. There we go.
Yeah. All right.
Spoiler time.
All right, boys. Where do we begin with this? I can finally click
Top
off the.
Moth is back.
All right. Actually, that's an interesting point. So we were talking about Top Moth literally the last 2 episodes, but we were talking about Volcarona Hitmontop because we thought apparently like either Larvesta or Volcarona was seen in like a screenshot, like an official one, but he's not in the
Fake.
decks.
Fake.
Mm-hmm.
He might
If
be
you
like
don't
in the
already-
extended decks, but yeah, go on, David.
For whoever's listening, the Dex was limited to 400, and we're looking at, is it 80? 80 new mons? And
It's like
total
90-ish.
Yeah, it's like 80 new mons entirely, and then 92
Oh, right, with the
total,
forms.
including the new
Yeah.
forms. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not including like G-Max, etc.
Yeah, we still haven't seen all the Gigantamax. We've seen a couple of them.
We're seeing Gengar. We're seeing Gengar.
Allegedly.
I need that Gengar in my life.
Yeah. So here we've got a chart with like the new Pokemon and their they're not abilities. We've seen most of their abilities. We'll talk about them. I don't want this episode to be 2 hours long because Ashton also has to get to class after this.
Regretfully so, yes.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start off at the top. We have plenty of screenshots that we're not gonna be sharing. If you need to find them, you can find them.
They're
It's the
on
internet.
every form of social media.
Yeah, I
Recommend.
at the same time I feel bad for Game Freak, but like if I can find out this knowledge now, I'm gonna find out this knowledge now. It's out there.
I am not endorsing 4chan.
No.
But they have pretty good leaks.
All right, let's start right off the top. We got Rillaboom, Groupie's Final Evolution. We got a gorilla with a drum. He's the dude, and so we have like confirmed base stats on a couple new Pokemon simply because one of the leakers, I think like the main leaker, he went to the Battle Tower, and there are rental teams, and based off of those stats, we could actually calculate what their base stats are. So this guy's bulky. He's base 85, super respectable speed. It's not a Lola where everything's like super slow, below like 70. In fact, this is the slowest Final Evolution starter, and it's got we didn't talk about this before we were talking. All of these Pokemon have like exclusive moves. Do we remember what this exclusive move is? I think I remember it being a base 80 grass move. Yeah, I found it. It's called Drum Beating. It's a base 80 physical grass move. I don't know why we'd use it over Wood Hammer, but it lowers the target speed stat. Yeah, which is like, it's useful enough. It's Trop Kick, but speed instead of attack.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
is okay. I don't think it'll have much competitive use unless you pair it, like, if you were to go a slower route and pair it in Trick Room with some Pokemon that would really take benefit from that, but...
Yeah, there's no reason not to just, like, go with the base 120 Woodhammer.
Yeah.
Like...
I saw it also learns Boom Burst, just as a side note, which I thought was kind of funny.
Boom Burst with base 60 special attack.
It's definitely not a special attacker, but no. I just think it's a nice touch that they added.
Yeah.
Because musicians...
Are there any physical sound moves?
Physical sound moves?
I'm just thinking, because I've seen speculation on what its hidden ability could be, just like cute things. It could be like sound moves turn to grass, kind of how Primarina with sounds is water.
That'd be really cool.
Or it could be like sound moves are now physical.
That would be nice.
Because imagine Boom Bursts, but physical. Ooh.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on these Pokemon.
Big monkey boy.
Next one, we got Cinderace. It's base 119 speed and 116 attack with, like, stuff.
But it does have... Go on.
It does remind me of Blaziken, but, like, actually fast. You forget without speed boost, Blaziken's, base 90?
Really slow, yeah.
Its exclusive move is just a physical, base 120, 90 accuracy fire move called Pyro Ball. Thank you, David.
I like that move a lot.
It's
it's
like forever with no recoil.
Yeah, I think that's why it will be good at all. I don't think it will be.
What is its secondary effect? I forget.
It may leave the target with.
Yeah, so it's like any other fire move.
Okay.
It just doesn't. It just is. Its only like downfall is the accuracy. But
I do like that it learns Skunk Shot though. I really like that.
Yeah. We saw like it kind of reminded me of like a physical Greninja moveset almost.
Yeah. So Fireballs and Headbutt, Gunk Shot.
Yeah. I don't know like Greninja, but whatever. All right, let's move on because we need to get to the good Pokemon. Inteleon. I unfortunately
I'm not saying anything about this Pokemon.
Okay, good.
I play the fifth.
I will gladly talk about Inteleon.
Its special attack is what, like Snipe Shot?
Yeah.
No, my bad. Its special attack is 125. Yeah, I'm talking about its special move.
Okay. Yeah, its special move is Snipe Shot. It's the only one that has 15 PP, I think. And it says the user ignores the effects of opposing moves and abilities that draw moves, allowing it to hit the chosen target. So it just ignores range powder and all. Which I think is really nice. An 80 base special attack. It learns Shadow Ball, Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Snipe Shot in the screenshot of it.
It's the same base power as Scald, but Scald is just a little better, I think.
Yeah.
We don't know how the meta's going to go yet, obviously, so we don't know if there's going to be any good redirection like we were talking about.
Well, it would be like, if we think old school, like Excadrill Togekiss.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, no thanks.
Is that in the Dex?
Both are in the Dex.
Oh, no.
Ooh, okay.
Two are in the Dex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sand sounds kind of dope right now, honestly.
Alright, I talked about the starters just because, like, it's cool if starters are any good, but we can't get to every Pokemon in this discussion.
Alright.
We'll be here forever, so David, Ashton, I'm going to give you 3 Pokemon you get to talk about.
Ooh.
I'm going to let Ashton go first.
Okay. Alright. I want to talk about the, like, Galarian Cofagrigus. That thing.
I think it's called... I think it has an exclusive name. I don't know how it works. It's called Runigus. I guess Cofagrigus is also in the Dex? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think the addition of Rock-type to a Pokemon of that, like...
Isn't it ground?
What's the word?
No. People thought it was ground. I'm, like, pretty confident it's Rock and Ghost. It's our first Rock and Ghost type.
Yeah, it's like the addition of Rock to a Pokemon like that. Because I think it gets a little, like, faster, isn't it? So, let me see if we...
I think it's base 51 speed, allegedly, in our, like, kind of, like, pseudo-calculations. But the important difference between Cofagrigus is it's a physical attacker instead.
Yeah, like, I think that as a Trick Room Mon, I'm assuming it gets Trick Room, obviously, but
Yeah.
probably gets Trick Room. As a Trick Room Mon, I think it'll be a lot more useful than Configuragus was, because if you saw its ability is basically like if you make contact with it, it's a skill swap.
Yeah, so it's a better mummy.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
could also make room for cool Intimidate cycling.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, side U-turn.
Oh god.
No, I
Well,
didn't think
Instant's
about
not
that.
on the
Yeah,
deck.
yeah, thank God, but
Because the ability does go first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just excited to see Shadow Sneak just start cycling Intimidates.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
there's
I
a
don't
lot of
think
cool potential.
if Runigus, or I can't find the screenshot I had of it, but
Yeah, I can't find that one I was thinking of, but it exists somewhere.
yeah, I don't think it's the one that makes, if it makes contact, that it switches. I think you have to make contact with it.
You have to make contact.
Yeah, because
So
if it could attack and then also skill swap, that would be kind of busted, I think.
That'd be so. You Shadow Sneak your own Kyogre in like VGC 2022.
2022.
And it just auto skill swap.
2022.
Yep.
God.
All right.
I don't know, but I do think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Ashton gets
You
2 more.
agree? Yeah.
So am I picking one or are you picking one?
Actually, no. Let's go in a circle because I want to talk too eventually. So, David, you pick one.
I'm most excited for the new moth called Frostmoth, which is similar to Volcarona in stats, but I think Frostmoth has more special.
We don't know exactly. People are it's super close. Like it might be identical. Honestly, when I was looking at it, it might have been they were creating Galarian Volcarona.
I can see.
But then we're like, let's just make it its own Pokemon.
But what if we didn't?
But through screenshots, you can see Blizzard, Bug Buzz, Quiver Dance, and Tailwind.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it could have similar support as Volcarona, but without the risk of the aspect. Because it has I forgot what the ability is. Tinted Lens?
It's Shield Dust.
Secondary effects?
I think it's called.
Shield Dust, Shield Dust. It can't be hit by secondary effects, so it can't be like Fake Out Flinch, Rockside Flinch, burned by anything, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty big. But just the thought of Top Moth coming back after a meta ruled by Tapus and really hard hitting fairies, it just sounds so satisfying and so fun. And I really think that Frostmoth actually does have potential.
You gotta think about the interactions of having ice coverage over fire coverage will be.
And I do feel like there's a lot of
There's a lot of new dragons.
A lot of new dragons. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's a good amount of new dragons. And if Eldegoss does get Rage Product, it could actually do it. I will say that it could actually.
You would add Eldegoss onto that team?
No. Just the idea if Eldegoss does get Rage Product, Top Moth can find that potential.
Okay, I see.
The idea that I could just Ice Beam Flame it, etc.
Right. So you're saying if Eldegoss is relevant?
Yeah. And Dragapult might be relevant. So Dragapult is the new.
All right, shut up. I'm talking about Dragonpult now.
Oh, okay.
Alright, it's my turn. Dragapult, our new pseudo legend. It has base 142 speed. It's the 3rd fastest Pokemon in the Dex, so confirmed for the format, meaning it's the fastest relevant Pokemon without an item.
I was gonna say, what do we have above it?
A Selgor and Ninjask.
Gotcha. So definitely the fastest, best Pokemon. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just, what is it? I was looking at Timid Scarf Gardevoir. Tommy Coolin and I were talking about it. Timid Scarf Gardevoir just barely outspaces it, but with its bulk, if you have bulk in Dragapult, you can take the Moonblast. But it's going to be interesting. It also has base 120 attack and 100 special attack, so it could be either or. But the cool thing, I think the most important aspect of it, is its abilities. It has Infiltrator, I think we saw, but also Clear Body.
Yeah, Clear Body is just wow.
Also, it has.
How is that?
We saw before we saw its stats. We saw that it was Clear Body and Dragon Dance.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this type. It's Dragon Ghost, which is it's gonna be interesting. Because
it's really cool typing.
I think people are sleeping on how good Phantom Force can be on a Pokemon like this. we haven't really had relevant physical ghost type Pokemon, but Phantom Force, it's 2 turns, but you go through Protect. You're getting that damage off.
Yeah, so you can kind of just like set it up on the field, position around it, and then, especially if your opponent like doesn't have a ghost switch in, they can be under such pressure that they just can't stop.
So I think regardless, it's bulk. This is a relevant enough Pokemon to say all its stats. 88, 75, 75. That's like, it's pretty serviceable. That's reminding me of Thundurus almost. So I think this is going to be a really dynamic Pokemon. It's going to be relevant in the meta. I think you might have to be forced to run max speed on it just because of the mirror, because you can KO each other. More shoutouts to Tommy Cooling. He was talking about choice band calcs on it. I checked. I'm pretty sure you can't OHKO the other one with Adamant Choice Band Shadow Sneak. It comes close to having a chance, but I'm pretty sure you can cleanly live that. It'd be pretty ridiculous if you couldn't take that.
This brings me back to the old Aegislash days where everyone was like, oh my gosh, it gets Shadow Sneak. Like, you just need to boost it up a little bit, and then just because it has Shadow Sneak, it's going to be the best Pokemon in the game.
I didn't think about that. It dies to Aegislash Shadow Sneak.
Oh.
Well,
we have a meta is developing.
Well, let's go to Ashton and Ashton's next Pokemon. While we do that, I'm going to, live while we're recording this, calc that. So.
Fair enough.
Ashton.
Let's see. I think one of the Pokemon. Let's see. So many of them. There's so many cool ones.
You don't say Berserker, you're a fraud.
All right. Well.
No, Berserker's not. It's a steel. It's a steel evolution of the new Galarian Meowth. I don't think it's gonna be relevant. So.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right. Well, another one that I'm super excited for is the octopus. I believe it's called Graplocked. I don't know how to say that.
There's an octopus?
Yeah, it's the one that gets that new move, which is the reason I wanted to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, the fighting type.
The new move that's like the holding move. It's kind of like block. I totally forget the name. It's like block, but it lowers their defenses every turn. And I think that is extremely broken. I can't wait to see where that goes. But for the moment, I feel like it could be used in so many ways where, if you trap somebody in like that, their initial reaction is probably gonna, but if you trap somebody in, their initial reaction is usually to like protect and try to position and take out your Pokemon so that maybe they can switch out of your lock. But if every turn their defenses are lowering and they're getting weaker, suddenly like staying in and protecting isn't the most viable strategy anymore.
Right.
So like,
there's a confirmed number of turns in this market.
I don't.
I don't think that for our purposes that's not going to matter. But I think stuff like block or like, I don't block's such a random move. I don't know how long that lasts, but I imagine no longer than like the effects of Encore.
Okay.
It just says prevents the target from switching out. I don't think it ends.
Yeah, maybe.
They can't.
I don't know.
Block. They can't escape and block.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It'd be very interesting to see something like
that. What are the stats on that Pokemon? Grappolo. Where is it?
With the defenses dropping every turn, I can't really see it staying in for much longer than 2 turns.
Yeah, so it's a base. Allegedly, we're still fiddling with numbers. It's like around base 40 speed, 120 attack, serviceable bulk, slightly better than Dragapult. So
I think everything's better than Dragapult at this point.
No. But yeah,
it literally shoots.
Oh yeah, back to that calc. I finished that calc. Max attack, Life Orb, Aegislash. Because I'm not gonna do Band. Because that's not.
Well done.
Bandaslash.
It's an 8.8% chance to OHKO 4 HP Dragapult.
Huh.
So obviously, that's like the cleanest 2-hit KO on Shadow Sneak ever. Or I can only imagine. Let's go. I'm gonna do 0 attack. Quiet.
Then the Dragapult's weakness policy activates, and everything ends.
Hold up. No. I'm calculating Aegislash. What's it called? Weakness policy.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, so +2 weakness policy, Aegislash, 0 attack, quiet. Has a 93.8% chance to OHKO with Shadow Sneak.
Okay.
So you take a hit and then you're like, go away.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Or in that nature, you can just ignore that and just Shadow Ball it, because Shadow Ball KOs. So.
Well, it's such an interesting dynamic because the Aegislash can choose to Shadow Sneak the Dragapult, but if it doesn't and it opts to Shadow Ball, the Dragapult can just Phantom Force.
Yeah, it's going to
And then-
be irrelevant enough, like, dynamic between the two.
Yeah.
Especially because if it Shadow Sneaks, it's stuck in sword form and it's going to die.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And then there's King Shield, but you can't block King Shield, so that'll be fun. But yes, back to this. Are we done talking about the octopus?
Yeah, just about trapping
Its
in stuff.
pre-evolution is one of my favorite new designs.
So it's so cute.
Oh, yeah, they both are
Clavipus.
very nice.
I wanted them
Adorable.
to be water fighting so bad. Because
It
I
was
like
giving
that
me-
there's pure
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Thematically,
it
I
was giving
prefer
me
that.
Crabrawler
but-
vibes, but
Alright. David, what's your other Pokemon?
One big one that I want to talk about.
Is it
Honestly,
Caparaja?
Hatterene.
Oh.
No. That's next. That's my third. Caparaja is the third.
Okay.
But no, Hatterene. It's a new Psychic Fairy type that has very, very decent bulk. It's pretty low on HP, but it can Dynamax and Gigamax,
Yeah, Gigantamax.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, Gigantamax. Which does give it more HP, so it kind of suffices if it had more HP.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I think it would.
We
honestly
saw
be
its
awesome to have the same
Gigantamax
bulk as
move
Spaz.
also is Guaranteed Confusion, which I don't know if that's good or not, but something
Is it
to know.
on everyone on the field or just the opponent?
We don't know because we saw it in like a strategy guide.
Okay.
Like a blurry screenshot, so.
But Hatterene is Psychic Fairy, which I think right now in this meta, Psychic Fairy is good if you're not being smacked in the face by Aegislash, Dragapult,
Mm-hmm.
or Copperajah.
Yeah, we saw it. This was another Pokemon we saw in a. We didn't see the stats from the Battle Tower, but it was on a hard Trick Room team, which
Yeah,
yeah.
It does obviously have Trick Room, and it has a move.
Life do.
Life Dew.
Mhm.
It has Life Dew, which we don't know the percentage, but it does recover. Hatterene recovers itself, and it also heals a partner. Like whatever you target, it doesn't have to be partner.
Oh.
Which I think is like whether it be a quarter or 50%, that's just help. And in Trick Room, it can help a lot too. Maybe like potentially Snorlax. Snorlax does see relevance.
I would imagine it's 50%, but like and have limited distribution.
well, I could see it being along the lines of like a third, because
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
a quarter's too low. Why would you want to recover?
Quarter's
a
too
quarter?
low,
But a half,
and
half would be really busted.
Yeah.
I could see them doing half. Half wouldn't be too surprising. But a third, maybe 40% would be kind of a little bit more balanced in my opinion, because that's just a lot of HP. Like across the board, if you're recovering 50 to you and your partner, that's 100%. Like people try really hard to deal 100% onto any Pokemon or spread it across the board and stuff. So just healing that in one turn is a little busted, but it's Pokemon. I could see it happening.
Agreed. Alright, am I up next? Is that how we're working?
Yep.
Shoot, I didn't have a second one. I was gonna steal the elephant.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
You can talk about Copperajah. I just have to butt in with it too. You talk
Okay,
about
fine,
Copperajah.
fine.
I
I'm
have some
picking
strong
Copperajah
opinions.
because Blake Hopper and Blake's favorite Pokemon's Phanpy. He's like, oh my god, it's another
Yeah.
freaking elephant. And this one, honestly, probably is going to be relevant. It was also on the Hard Trick Room rental team. It gets sheer force. Where is it? It's base 30 speed, which is pretty good for Gyro Ball if it gets Gyro Ball. Also,
We've seen Heavy Slam Iron Head.
wait, I know how heavy it is, but I don't know the calculations enough to see if Heavy Slam's relevant enough. But Sheer Force Iron Head is that's hidden like a truck regardless. It also has a Gigantamax form. It looks like a frickin' thwomp with a trunk.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. So
Well,
we don't
Doesn't it?
go on.
Doesn't it like go on two legs?
It becomes a wall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It does become
yeah,
on
yeah.
2 legs. It literally looks like a swamp. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I can't seem to find that. But
Well,
yeah, I'm remembering it.
Look at the pinned tweet that we were looking at, or the most recent tweet, and it's to the left of Hatina.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I see right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty big.
Where is?
But so Life Orb, just imagining the moves that we've seen from it. We saw Iron Head, Power Whip, High Horsepower. Those are just strong moves, regardless. But I imagine it gets Rock Slide. Yeah. I can imagine what's it called? The Elemental Fangs being huge, being boosted by Life Orb.
That's
little
true.
inch here for us.
The one thing I did notice though is Copper Jaw's Gigantamax form does kind of make it seem like it's a fist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it'd be kind of cool if it got the elemental punches opposed to the fangs.
Oh, because of
just to kind of go base off of the fist.
Oh, well, the fist is its trunk, David.
Yeah.
Thinky.
Well, I know it's trunk. I just can't really tell in this picture I'm looking at if Copper Jaw just when it's
punching with its trunk. Gotcha. Nah, it'll probably, if anything, because of like, I was thinking like Hippowdon and like, does Donphan get the fangs? Maybe not, but
I think it does.
Okay.
I know it gets Play Rough. Like
no, that was the other move. I'm glad I mentioned Donphan because Play Rough, Sheer Force boosted Play Rough on a pure Steel type would be so good.
That'd be.
Oh god.
Because you just chunk the fighting types.
Yeah, I'd be pretty okay with that, honestly.
All right. So while David's doing his inner search, Ashton, let's go to your third Pokemon. You have a third
Alright,
Pokemon?
I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like the Ice Cube Penguin, Ice Cube.
We're talking about this thing. Okay.
I think the design is hilarious. I think that it looks like a little raisin with a string on it when it's in its other form. But the way that it has that like head, and I believe I have never seen these leaks, but I believe you were saying along the lines earlier that it was kind of a disguise for physical attacks.
No, I have the description right here. So its ability is Ice Face. The Pokemon's Ice Head can take a physical attack as a substitute, but the attack also changes the Pokemon's appearance. The ice will be restored when it hails.
Yeah, so I think that is so cool. Like,
it's still gonna die to a flamethrower, but
that is not wrong. I'm thinking it could be just kind of. It depends if it's like, it's weird because it looks very frail, right? This Pokemon looks small.
Yeah, I'm trying to find its stats. Its stats were super bad too. Its highest attacking stat is 74 in attack. And it's
I feel like it would be more
speed.
of like a support Pokemon.
It's got a cute niche.
Yeah,
kind of like an Icy Windmon.
Yeah, fair. Might need like a sash. But physical Pokemon will be struggling to KO it, especially if it's a sash. If you have Hail, like I guess if you use the Dynamax Ice move to set up Hail, you get the ability back. Yeah,
I think that would be one of the real uses of this.
I could see players like I know he doesn't play anymore, but Legacy running like just a troll team with this or something.
Yep.
I don't know. I get
Dynamax Hail,
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube Penguin going on.
Yeah, I could see it.
I like it. But yeah, I think he's just kind of one of the coolest. It's strictly off of like how the design looks. I really like the design, and he does seem to have with those stats, they did give him kind of the other thing he would need to have a chance of being competitively viable, which is a really cool niche ability.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm looking at the rest of the Pokemon to see where we would go on from this. I'm just gonna say we're not gonna talk about this real quick or for long, but the other Gigantamax move that we know the effect of is Lapras, essentially setting up Aurora Veil.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sets up Aurora Veil?
Well, it said...
Does Hail have to be up? Or
no,
does it set up like
the description says it halves all damage.
Oh.
On the field.
Oh.
So we don't know if it's actually Aurora Veil, that gets set up, or if it's just that's how it is. I imagine it's just setting up Aurora Veil.
I love how we still know Gigantamax and Dynamax.
Oh.
It's just like theorizing.
No, it's 100% going to be because the first tournament.
It's the showcase.
The singles tournament.
Yeah.
But no, there's no way. There's no way it's not going to be. VGC is marketing, whether or not you like it or not. All right, but
I'm content with Dynamax. I don't know about it, but
okay, shoot. Whose turn was it next?
Not it.
David, what's your third Pokemon?
Oh,
it's the Barracuda.
No, it might not be the Barracuda.
Okay.
Whoa.
Barracuda?
Barracuda.
David, you trying to scoot?
I'm not trying to scoot. Actually. I want to talk about Mr. Mime.
Okay, Mr. Mime and Mr. Rhyme.
Yes, Mr. Mime has a new evolution from Mr. Rhyme, and it is a Psychic Ice type. There were talks about potentially getting Follow Me Fake Out through the new...
No, that won't be a thing.
Yeah, it won't be a thing until later.
No, that'll never be a thing.
Oh, it'll never
David, I tried to explain this to you before the call.
You know how I am. Alright, so never mind, that'll never be a thing.
And that was also regular Mr. Mime, so whatever. Talk about the Galarian thing.
Oh, I want to talk about regular Mr. Mime. I'm talking about Eviolite, Galarian Mr. Mime. Which I think could be fun, because Mr. Mime itself does have decent ball, fake out trigger, screens.
Yeah, if Galarian Mr. Mime gets the same stats of regular Mr. Mime, plus an Eviolite, that's pretty dang good, yeah.
And Mr. Rhyme also does Mr. Rhyme. We don't know the stats of Mr. Rhyme, do we?
No, we haven't seen it yet from the leaks.
Yeah.
We very well could tomorrow, and by the time this episode's announced or released.
Yeah. If it gets similar bulk to Hatterini, it's gonna be solid. It's gonna be a solid choice.
For sure.
That's what I'll openly think that. I feel like its HP is gonna be a little bit more than Mr. Mime. I don't remember off the top of my head what Mr. Mime has, but I'm gonna look at it actually.
I know it's 120 SPDF and 100 special attack.
It's fat. He's fatty.
It reminds me of Porygon 2 almost.
Yeah, it has 40 HP, 65 defense, and 1 ton of special defense. HP and defense can easily go higher, and my assumption is the sprite of him, he is really short and fat with a stick and a cane. So his defense has to be high.
Mm-hmm.
That's my general assumption. And even if he's not, Mr. Mime, just slap on some fat stats and put on the Violet and just have a field day. So there's so much. I feel like there is more potential for Mr. Mime now because we had Brennan Zhang use it at a regional once.
Freaking Brennan Zhang's favorite Pokemon is Mr. Mime. Okay.
Exactly. And it naturally gets ICU too.
Okay.
So
okay.
If it keeps the same moveset, it could have potential.
The interesting thing I was thinking about, right, is we haven't really ever had an old-looking Pokemon, have we?
Like an old man Pokemon?
Elderly.
Or anything that looks, more not powerful. All the Pokemon are either babies or strong.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rhyme does look unimposing.
What's
when Morpeko becomes hungry.
What would his offensive stats be? Does he actually have double edge or something crazy? What is this thing gonna do?
I honestly feel like it's just gonna sit there and be fat.
It has
to
be
I have no
support,
hope.
Is basically what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like a small crest with an ice type.
That's true.
That's what I'm feeling.
Even Cresselia. Cresselia looks cute, even though it's not offensive.
Yeah.
Mr. Rhyme's just like that creepy uncle that you didn't know about that came to your 8th birthday party once.
Right. Mr. Mime gets helping hand trick and fake out AC win. From the PTSD. You can't run from memories, Caleb.
So
you can't
I'm
run from
looking. There's 3 more Pokemon that are relevant.
Sandaconda.
No. I'll glance upon Grimmsnarl, the final evolution of Indipimp. It has solid enough stats. Very Dark is good. It gets Prankster. Cool, I'm done with that.
The Prankster is what I'm very into, but I don't know any potential.
We don't know its move pool, other than it gets an exclusive base 80 fairy physical attack that decreases special attack. It's weird.
Yeah.
It seems they're making a lot of exclusive Trop Kick-esque moves, but different types, different stats. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go to my actual third pick, Appleton.
Ooh,
Apple.
Yes.
It's a grass and dragon Pokemon. Its body is like a baked apple. It's adorable. But the important thing about it, so its attack, it has a special attack called Apple Acid. It's grass. It's essentially an energy ball, but it always decreases special defense. Pretty cool. But the cool thing about this Pokemon, why it will be used if it's ever used, is its ability. It's called Ripen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It ripens any berry it's holding and doubles the effect.
Yeah.
50%. Wait, 100% berries.
Pinch berries.
100% berries.
Well, even then, it has the thing, if you use Citrus Berry with it, it has the thing with Snorlax where if you get it to half, it goes back to full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
now
really
it also
crazy.
has a thing where if you get it down to 25, it goes to full. It also learns...
Do you think Ripen would be viable?
It
or do you
learns
think it'll just be fat?
Recycle.
Do you think it would be viable, or do you think it'll just be fat?
I don't know.
Best way I can describe it.
Well, if we could see something along the lines of a defensive setup with Leech Seed and Recycle, though, like, you could just
also
be
gets
like
Curse.
a Mega Venusaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Curse, Recycle, Leech Seed, and then like an attacking move, you know?
Yeah.
It has a 4 times weakness to ice. You eliminate those, and then it has 5 other weaknesses. But, like, if it's bulky enough, and you have enough support, maybe.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. The cherry on top of all of this, I think, the most scary thing from these supposed leaks, to me, is the very unopposing Alcremie. Pure fairy Pokemon.
Okay. Alright.
You would
I'm
not
really
think,
fun.
like, looking at these supposed stats, it's got, like, 75 speeds, pretty good. It's the standard, like, special attack Pokemon where it's, like, 110 special attack, 125 Spidef, like, makes sense. But it gets this new move called Decorate that you use it on an opposing Pokemon, like a targeted Pokemon, including your partner. And it gives them +2 in special attack and attack.
Honestly, I thought this thing was going to evolve again before we saw, like, its Gigantamax form.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is like a mid-stage. Stage 1 looks pretty reasonable, but now seeing how its stats are actually panning out, and especially with that new move it gets, it seems pretty viable.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it's... So, I'm pretty sure the way you evolve it is related to an item and, like, decorating it or whatever. Essentially. Because it's a base Pokemon, Milcery, is like, it's just some cream. But we've seen, like, official announcements of this Pokemon where it has, like, different forms and stuff. Or not forms, but, like, different looks and colors. Yeah, basically a better rendition of Furfrou and stuff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I always forget about Furfrou that exists.
Yeah. So, because you decorate it, that, like, the whole thing with the move, I doubt many other Pokemon, if at all, will get this move. So, it's definitely going to be craved for this, especially if you have the Gigantamax form, which we already know about, where its move heals your the attacker and its partner to full.
Oh, what? I did not know about that.
It's so good.
I'm pretty sure it's to full. Like, I'll bring up...
I know, I just didn't look up any of the stuff that was actually, like, officially revealed by Pokemon. That's 100% on me, but...
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So nice.
Yeah, it will heal all Pokemon on Alcremie's side while dealing damage to the Pokemon. Okay, so we don't know if it's to full or not. Honestly, it's probably 50%. Because that's what... It's probably Heal Pulse. Or whatever, this Life Do thing. But it also attacks.
Yeah, the attacking with it part is crazy, because it's kind of like, in the same aspect of things we've seen in VGC before, like, if you can get a knockout and heal or set up or something like that, it's such a good opportunity for you. So being able to heal and attack while, like, your partner maybe even goes for, like, a Swords Dance or something, hypothetically, like, that's a lot of momentum that you did not have before, that you can just get with the singular move.
Completely agreed there. And, but going back to Decorate, like, I can see, like, a Scarf Alchemy working. Like, imagine using Decorate and adding +2 either attack or special attack to your Pokemon next to you, and then they get a turn 1 Dynamax and turn 1 +2 Dynamax attack.
Yeah.
This is like Scarf Swagger Feeny on steroids. Because one, it can't miss. Decorate's accuracy is just
I didn't
it can't
actually
miss.
look at that.
I made sure of that, and there's no other like
Really?
you don't need like there's no confusion going on, so you don't need Safeguard or Misty Terrain up to ruin your day.
Wow.
So it's just it's strictly better side swag that it will work on any Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think at the very least, even if it's not going to be something standard, it's definitely something that when you see that Pokemon, you have to know that your opponent has the opportunity to, be doubling their partner stats. Like, it might not be the meta, but you know that when you're sitting there at like 1-1 at a regional, there's a very high chance you play somebody using it. So
yeah, no, you have to respect Alchemy. It is a
absolutely
poltergeist.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we got to talk about all these Pokemon. We're getting probably past an hour mark. I haven't really looked, but let's talk about before we sign off. Let's talk about the Pokemon that could have been, the Pokemon that we've seen that straight up suck. Real quick, we all get one. Ashton, what's a Pokemon that just is bad? At least for VGC and our purposes.
Let's see. Well, I hate to say it. We're talking about the leaks, right?
Yeah, the new Pokemon.
Okay. Hate to say it. I mean, I've been thinking about it, and it hurts me, but
say it.
Wooloo and its evolution aren't going to be good.
You're saying Dubwool is not going to be good?
I mean, I think
agree.
I think it's confirmed that it gets fur coat.
I think I saw Fluffy, which is the
Fluffy, Fluffy
version,
which is kind of cool, I guess. But like, I was expecting it to have more utility than that. I mean, like, normal non-super.
Its highest attacking stat is 74, and it is just like its defenses are going to be good. But if it's not, like, it might be a Stallmon or something. Like,
yeah, like if you think along the lines of like Furfuro, right? It's like a cool mod. It's a really cool concept. It's a normal type that's not super offensive, and then what does it have? It has like Thunder Wave.
It'll probably get like Milk Drink, which Furfuro didn't have.
Like, but that's my thing. It's like I was expecting to see some like really cool utility, and maybe it is. Maybe we don't know yet. We don't really know all of the things yet. But with what we've seen right now, it doesn't seem like it has any cool utility. It doesn't seem like it has any real offensive pressure, and that just kind of makes me sad. But.
Yeah. I agree. All right, David, what Pokemon has disappointed you? Or at least you saw it. You weren't disappointed, but you saw it, and it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. You're bad.
Can I say two?
If you're quick enough, sure.
Rapidash and Toxtricity. Toxtricity just looked kind of BA, and like the statues that were in like the previews or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
In the trailers.
It's our first poison electric type.
Yeah, I was thinking, that could be cool. There's not too many ground types, and then Mamoswine did a deck, so you know that Toxtricity is going to suck, and its stats aren't that impressive. And Rapidash, because it's Psychic Fairy, it just seems lackluster. There's what, two more?
We haven't seen its stats yet, but if we assume it's the same stats as base Rapidash,
it's not going to be impressive.
It's not impressive.
You're better off just using Gardevoir?
You're better off using Gardevoir, yeah, because it's going to be
if you want offensive.
Actually, it's probably not going to be the base Rapidash stats because Rapidash had it was a physical attacker.
Physical,
yeah.
But like if it's 105 speed and like if you flip the attack and special attack stats, it's only 100 special attack. It's like
yeah.
Might as well just use Scarf Gardevoir and just Gardevoir.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, what's yours?
Alright, mine. I'm sorry. Well, it's kind of funny because you were talking about Wooloo and Pokemon that we already officially know of and are enamored with. Yamper, my buddy. Little corgi evolves into kind of like what I'm not a dog guy, but like a Great Dane kind of Pokemon. Boltund.
Okay, I mean it's a weird mix.
It
gets strong. It gets strong jaw with only base 95 attack or something.
It's a knockoff Mightyena.
I was gonna say it's like Mightyena or Sharpedo,
essentially, but it's cool. It's super fast. It's base 130 speed. But he's just strictly worse than a Pokemon that already exists in Jolteon. I hate when Pokemon kind of like double down, and it's just there's a far superior Pokemon for like every kind of role this Pokemon could have. And yeah, it just didn't.
I think it's the same as Wooloo. Like, unless we find out that it gets some cool like signature stuff or new moves, you know, that we didn't know about, it's just kind of sad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it makes sense. It's like early route stuff, so.
Yeah, it's a good early game Pokemon, definitely.
I'm not gonna get too much into it, but Corviknight might be meh because of its stats too. But I honestly.
Does Greedent have good abilities? Squirrel.
It's got like cheek pouch or whatever.
Yeah,
Does it have anything else? Because it has really good attack and defense.
It has really good HP too.
Yeah.
All right, no, we're getting too far, guys. Like, I know
we could be here for hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
So next episode, like, probably either gonna be about data mine. Data mine's gonna happen, or I start work. So the next episode is probably after the game comes out officially. We can talk stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Ashton, David, it's great to have you guys on. I
fun.
always have every episode like old head guys on, at least one.
Call me the old head when you're the boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Not even. I'm like an year older than you guys. All right. Well, again, thanks to you guys. You guys want to plug anything or shout anyone out?
Follow me on Twitter at Mancuso.
Follow me on Twitter at Yoshimaru.
Follow me on Twitter at I'm not on Twitter, am I? Yeah, because someone said I shouldn't tweet. David. Alright, you guys know where to find me. Alright, so again, I've been Cable Ryor. See you guys on the next episode. Bye.